Welcome to R&R, Relationships in Real Estate. I'm your host, Chris Silva, and this is my beautiful wife, Corey Silva.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on R&R. Chris and I are the owners of Silva Realty and Silva Lending, and we've been in the real estate and mortgage industry since the early 2000s. We absolutely love what we do. We're super excited that you're here with us today. It's the final week of June. Summer is officially here.
Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it. The king of the mundo.
Summer has started, everyone.
In case you're wondering why the show looks a little bit different today, this is our first ever on vacation episode. We're broadcasting live from our hotel room in beautiful Palm Springs.
We decided to have a little getaway.
Yeah, and it's a very hot one, to say the least.
Oh, boy.
So, this is also the last episode before 4th of July weekend. It's already 4th of July. Where does the time go?
This year's flying by. I know we say it every single week, but it really is. Does everybody else feel that way?
Oh my goodness. It's like time, slow down. I could always tell the difference by how big our kids are getting. Like overnight, they just keep sprouting up.
They're huge.
So does anyone have any fun 4th of July plans? Maybe a lake vacation or a beach vacation? What do you think we have planned for 4th of July?
It's kind of still up in the air, right? Most likely, we're probably just going to stay home and watch some fireworks from the front yard or the backyard.
Right. That'll be nice. And on Sunday, we're going to our aunt's house to do a little bit of swimming, try to keep cool in this hot weather. And how is everyone handling this heat wave we've been having?
So, luckily we were able to get away and we haven't experienced the heat wave you guys are experiencing in Santa Clarita and San Fernando Valley. It's a lot worse here. Okay, so it's like 112 degrees right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible. Like just the other day, Santino said, why would anybody want to live here? And I'm like, I feel the same way, kid. I don't know how they make it in this summer heat. But a lot of the locals have been telling us that the winters are fabulous. So somehow we got lucky enough to book a vacation here in the dead of summer, the beginning of summer. They said it gets worse. That's 125 here usually in the summer.
So Tanya's just joining us. Hi, Tanya. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for always supporting us. You always come through for us.
Yes, yes.
So all of our sympathies go out to anyone who is suffering through this heat with no air conditioning, or if you have air conditioning issues, because this is unbearable. Like we're on vacation and I'm thinking like relaxation. Yes, we are relaxing, but it's relaxing in a hotel room because it's too darn hot outside. You go out to the pool and you want to get cooled off, but it is so hot. There's only so much heat you can handle, even when you're in the pool. The poor kids, I felt like they're going to get heat stroke the first day we were here.
I mean, me and Tino both had headaches from the heat.
Yes.
Right?
They're both very sensitive.
I guess we're very sensitive. No matter how much sunblock you put on, you're still going to get sunburn because it just melts right off of you.
Yes.
You put it on because it's so hot.
It is so hot. And Chris and I reapplied like 2 or 3 times and we still got burnt on our shoulders. So we're trying to limit how much time we spend out in the blazing heat in the midday. So we've been trying to keep our kids occupied. And for those of you who have children, it's a little bit challenging. They go a little bit stir crazy, like they're caged animals. If you keep them in too long and they don't get that fresh air, which I myself feel like a caged animal. I need to get out. I need some fresh air. I do not want to sit in a room. I do not want to watch TV. I want to enjoy nature, fresh air, enjoy life, right? And we're just sitting here like waiting for it to cool down. So yesterday we ran some errands, tried to explore Palm Springs a little bit and see what all the hype is about.
I mean, I don't know if there really is hype in Palm Springs. Like nobody ever says like, oh my God, I want to go to Palm Springs. So the real reason we came here is being we're timeshare owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then we'll get somebody call in trying to sell us something, and they sold me this trip. I bought this trip, right? Because it sounds amazing. 5 days, 4 nights
at a resort with
at a
pool.
5-star Westin resort with a pool, right? And I try to book it sooner, but the earliest trip they had was right now that we're in.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, yeah, because nobody else wants to come this time. So
Sucker.
we were able to stay here at a 5-star resort with the 1 bedroom for only $299, right?
Right. So you're thinking, oh, it's a steal, which please don't get me wrong. I'm happy that we have some time to relax a bit. But you just kind of have this like anxious feeling where you want to get out and do things. So we're trying to figure out some other things like, oh, let's take the kids to the movies. And Chris had this beautiful plan of taking them to go see Minions. And so these kids are super hyped, like, oh, we're going to go see Minions when we get there. Well, Minions don't come out till Friday.
Doesn't come out till or Thursday on a matinee, but
This
we'll be
guy,
leaving by then.
he's just, he's super excited about the Minions. He just really wanted it to come to fruition while we're here. So we can't do the movies.
So Grandpa was saying, "Why don't we go take him to see Top Gun?" I'm like, "Isn't there a sex scene in Top Gun?"
Gun, that's
I'm like,
so ridiculous.
Really? That's what he was saying the other day.
Listen, okay, how many of you guys can actually relate? When you were younger, your parents went and saw the movies they wanted to see, and you went along with them. And my parents are like, you better close your eyes. You better put your hands over your eyes on all those scenes. So why was my favorite movies Grease and Dirty Dancing growing up?
So if you think that is bad, so who else can relate to this? So I must have been about 11 years old, I believe. No, 9 years old, because I believe Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson came out in 1989. So I wanted to see that movie so bad.
Every kid wanted to see that.
But for me, for a different reason, I wanted to see the Joker.
Right.
Everybody wanted to be Batman. I love the Joker, right? So my grandfather took me to the movies. It was the U8 theaters. If anybody's familiar in San Fernando Valley, Victory and Witsit. And there was a line way down the street, and we get up to the front, Batman sold out, right? So I don't know. He probably knew that this was out. I'm not sure if he knew what it was, but if you can imagine, we went and saw Basic Instinct with Sharon Stone instead of Batman. Okay, so at this point in my life, I had never seen like really bad violence where there's like, killing happening in a movie. I had never seen nudity, right? I had never seen strong sexual content.
Well, that was the movie to get everything you had ever seen.
Let me just tell you, if anybody remembers, they remember the famous scene of Sharon crossing her legs, but forget about that scene. The very first 3 minutes of the movie starts with this crazy sex scene, and during the scene, like the lady's reaching over and she grabs an ice pick and stabs the guy that she's on top of, right? So that happened in the first 3 minutes that I'm in the theater. And I'm thinking, like, you know what? It was my idea to watch it. I had no idea what it was, but I wanted to go to the movies with my grandpa. And I remember looking at him and thinking, like, I might get hit right in front of everybody in the theater for bringing my grandpa to see Basic Instinct. And I'm getting ready to get up and take the whooping. Like, I'm sure I'm going to get spanked.
He's like, sit back.
For sure.
Enjoy the movie.
And I looked at him and he looked at me and he didn't move. So I saw Basic Instinct when I was 9 years old in the theater. And I can't even take my kids to see Top Gun.
I mean, there's 2 common denominators there, grandpas. Your grandpa wanted to sit and watch Basic Instinct, and my dad wants the kids to watch Top Gun. I mean, I guess if you're going to compare the two,
Top Gun isn't
maybe we need to go to Top Gun and show the kids what it's all about.
Oh my gosh. I totally forgot about that story until I told it right now, but that happened when I was 9.
Oh my gosh.
You have to look up when Batman came out. I think it came out in 19.
Yeah, Grandpa of the Year.
Go away.
Goy, right. Well, last week, if you caught our show, we had a very special guest host, one of our clients and really good friends, Tony Price, filled in for me.
So what did you think about Tony and our show last week?
I mean, I think it was great. You guys did an amazing job. I love Tony. He always brings the laughs, right? He's got such a great personality and people love him. We love him. So what did you all think? Did you like having Tony on? Because I think you guys had some pretty good topics and you kept people engaged. And I mean, I know Tony still hasn't won any like raffle tickets yet, but he, like I said, he's winning in life, right?
Yeah, that was funny. So he was talking about how with raffles he never wins, right? And he was talking about the client appreciation event that he was kind of becoming a heckler.
He would not stop when we were up there trying to give away these prizes and like having full on meltdowns. And what did I tell? I don't even remember exactly what I told him, because when someone like won, he'd be like, oh, I'm like, be quiet, hater. All the haters need to
No,
be quiet.
you said you need to be. Why don't you just be happy for the winners?
Oh, is
You
that what
did it
I
a
said?
roundabout way, but anyhow, you said something that me, him, and our kids have in common now is they have all been scolded by you. We've all been scolded by you.
Well,
So,
that's all right. You guys need to act right and then you won't get scolded. So Christian's here with us. Hi.
hey, Christian, thanks for joining us.
I saw you were at the beach the other day enjoying nice cool weather,
That's what we need to
water,
do.
sand on your toes. I was very jealous. It looked very
We should
nice.
totally be at the beach.
Yes, we need to be. I think we've decided with this vacation that, and I think every time we go somewhere, we always decide that we're beach people.
We're 100% beach people. We're not camping people. We're not lake people.
We're not
We're
desert
not
people.
cabin people. We're not
I mean,
ski people.
maybe a cabin on the beach would be cool.
I mean, that's really hard to find.
No, Nola would freak out with the bugs.
Yeah, no, I'm a 100% beach person. So for anybody tuning in, right now, the reason the show looks different is we are in Palm Springs. We're on vacation. This is an experiment. It's our first time doing a show from our hotel room. We wanted to show you like the beautiful like palm desert, which it's okay, but we can't because of the lighting of the show. Like you can't see anything. It's
Yeah, we
blinding.
wanted to have the nice golf course in the background, but yeah, it just didn't work out. And for us to sit outside, we would probably melt along with the laptop. No, let me just tell you, Chris is like the biggest baby when it comes to the heat. He's like, I hate this. I can't deal with the heat. I've got a headache. It's like too much for him.
I'm not a fan of the heat at all.
He's just a little bit over it. But other than that, we're enjoying our time together, which is the most important, right?
Absolutely. It's always nice just to be together. We're not really doing much out here except hanging out in this hotel because it's too hot to go anywhere. We drove around, like we took the whole view.
If anybody wants to do a last minute trip, I mean, it's 1:40 on Wednesday. Takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours from Santa Clarita to get here. Come join us. There is a pool. It's going to be hot until 8 o'clock. You will do night swimming until about 10 because that's when the pool closes down. Open invitation because we will love to have some company if you want to join us. It's so nice. So anyways, we're having a great time with the kids. And the reason why I wasn't able to be here last week on the show was...
Well, you tell me. You took Nola to her eye appointment, correct?
Yes. So I took Nola to her eye appointment and that went really well. So a lot of times, doctors will tell you one thing and you're like, yeah, I don't believe it. Well, this eye doctor, she's really amazing. She said, if you catch any eye issues early on, it could be corrected. I said, yeah, we'll see about that, right? Well, it's been 3 months. Nola's been wearing her glasses every day. And
she wears them all
really the only time she takes it off is to go to sleep or to take a shower.
Right.
And so we went in for a checkup and the doctor said, wow, she's doing really well. She was able to move down 3 lines on that vision chart. And I said, oh, that's great. She's like, she's really doing what she kept saying how well she's doing. I'm like, well, is this typical? Should I expect something like this? She said, no, she is in the top 5% for improvement on her eyes. So if you have kids that you think like maybe having some challenges seeing things, get them into the doctor right away. Get them glasses that actually fit, because I guess that's like huge. The biggest thing is to make sure they fit well, because then the kids are going to want to wear them all the time. They have to be comfortable. And Nola loves her glasses. And I feel like her personality and her, I just feel like she's coming out of her shell more. She's got a lot more confidence. And I was telling Chris, maybe it's just because she could see better now and she's not afraid of what she can't see.
Maybe. Definitely a lot of positive reinforcement for anybody that has kids that need glasses. Corey stopped wearing her contacts for a long time, especially like the first few weeks, and always wore her glasses. And Professor Lecca, which I didn't even know wears glasses.
Yeah, she wore her glasses to jiu-jitsu to make Nola feel comfortable. And Nola's TK teacher started wearing her glasses too in the classroom. So I feel like if any of you guys are up against that challenge and you feel like, oh, how can I get my kid to really want to wear their glasses? Tell everyone around you to give that positive reinforcement, and everyone will start wearing their glasses again.
It really does take a village, right? We hear that it takes a village, and it does. And that will also let you know if you're hanging around the right people,
Yes.
right? Because everybody jumped to help out Nola. I
Yeah.
love that, right?
It's such a big difference from when we were kids, because I remember thinking, or not even thinking, but just hearing people make fun of other little kids and calling them four eyes and stuff like that. I'm like, who does that?
I
Isn't
mean,
it so
I think
mean?
adults would like mess with them too.
Yeah, it's so mean. And like when we got braces, I'm like, great, someone's gonna say I have train tracks on my teeth. Like
Did you ever have
silly
anybody
things like
do?
that.
Did anybody wear glasses when you were young? And did you ever have anybody, if you did wear glasses, which I did you ever have anybody do the windshield wipers to you?
What?
Because
What
that
is
was
that?
terrible. That's when they lick their two fingers and they go like this to your glasses.
Who does
I can't remember who
that?
did it to me, but I was mad.
Was it a friend?
It was probably somebody I thought was a friend of mine. I can't remember,
Oh.
but somebody did the windshield wipers to me.
Listen, we have to, people, you need to do better. Raise your kids right, because that is horrible.
Oh man.
Windshield wipers. But I did get, when we had braces, Chris and I both had braces at the same time at one point, and my aunt would say, "Do you guys get stuck together when you kiss?"
That's how long we've been together since we both had braces. Obviously, my braces, that's a whole other show, a whole different story, got repossessed. And that's why my teeth are
I'm
crooked.
sorry I'm laughing, but it's
It's
funny.
and it's the truth. So we'll talk about that on a different show.
I just don't understand why people want to like make fun of you when you're trying to make things right. Like you want to see better, you want to have your teeth straight, and someone wants to make fun of you over that.
I mean, I think we know
I
by
don't
now
know.
it's people's own insecurities, correct?
Correct. Yes. So Tanya said, "Oh, nice. Hope you guys are having a great time in Palm Springs." Yes, we are. And Christian said, "When I was in basic training, my MTI said my glasses were so thick I could see into the future." And you were like, "Yeah, I could see your future, right?" I already know what Christian was thinking. He was probably thinking
Oh
something
my
really
gosh.
funny. He probably had a really good comeback, but couldn't say it
Yeah,
because then he'd have some crazy push-ups and
yeah. He probably couldn't say what he was thinking, I'm
I
sure.
know. What is wrong with people? Jeez. They just want to break you down though, huh? In basic training, make you feel real small. Is that what they do?
I haven't been in the military, so
I
I
don't know,
don't
Christian,
know.
is that what they do? Do they like find something to pick on at every person so they feel like they're really small? Break you down so they could build you up? So Urvashi's here.
Hey,
Hi,
Vashi.
Urvashi. Thanks for joining us today. If you're just logging on to the show, we are here live on vacation in Palm Springs. So that's why the background looks a little bit different. We're in the hotel room and we're trying this out. So if audio is off or anything, know that we're trying our best. We're so happy that you're here and supporting us. And thank you, by the way, for helping me with my Adobe issue the other day. It's fixed. I can actually open my documents now. It's not kicking me off. And I'm so grateful for you because you always come through
Oh,
for
I
us.
need help with my Adobe issue. I'll call you on a different time.
You probably just have to log out and log back in.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And so Urvashi said, "Wow, enjoy. How hot is it there?" It's too hot. It is way too hot.
Way too hot.
It's 112 degrees. And then yesterday it was windy when we came out and it felt like we're literally in an oven cooking.
In a sauna.
And Santino said, "So now I know how pigs feel when they're getting prepared for a meal."
Is that what he said?
Yes.
Oh wow. That kid.
He's so funny. He always has the funniest things to say.
So last week, Monday through Friday,
Uh-huh.
Nola participated in a Disney dance camp at Studio One in Santa Cruz.
Yes.
Okay. The last day they had a little performance showcase, right?
Mhm.
And we got to watch Nola. Can you tell me more about that? Because you were the one dropping her off every day.
Yes.
And you heard like more of what was going on.
So, Nola's cousins, our nieces, Brielle and Audrey, they dance at Studio One in Valencia and they love it. They're always in dance competitions and stuff, and they're always showing Nola different moves. And I ask Nola, "Would you like to do dance?" And she always says no, but she dances around the house, right?
Sure.
So she heard about the Disney dance camp and she was all about it. So I signed her up because her cousin Audrey was going to be there. And it was great because I was able to drop her off in the morning and then grandma would pick her up halfway through the day. So that helped me out with my work day. And Nola absolutely loved it because not only was it just dance, but it was, arts and crafts and games. And Nola loves art. She
She
is
loves
a
art.
budding artist. She's so great. And the teacher, the dance instructor, even said, "Wow, she's really good at art. She takes her time, she plans it out." And I'm like, well, that's a huge compliment coming from a dance instructor who is also, by the way, she owns her own theater. So she deals a lot with actors and actresses. So I thought that was really cool. And it was great because on the last day, we got to see all the little kids who participated. They had their art projects laid out. So they had an art gallery because I kept telling Nola, the last day, I can't wait to see you perform. And she's like, it's not a performance, it's a showcase. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like she was really, really excited about her art showcase. So they had it all laid out, and I knew exactly which one was Nola's because she really takes her time. You could tell hers was hers because all the parts that were done, she did very neatly, and there was parts that weren't finished yet, and she knows that it's okay. You don't have to rush through things. You'll finish it later. So she showed us her artwork, and they did like a little dance at the end, which was cool. They had 5 or 6 different dances they did.
Right. You could tell the kids that had been doing dance prior to this camp because they were feeling it.
Oh, our niece Audrey, she is all about the stage. I was telling my mom,
an actress for
they need to get her an agent because she was just loving it. She was feeling all the dance moves. She was really into it. And Santino was watching, goes, look at Audrey. She's really into it. I go, well, she's on stage a lot. So she knows how to play it up. Like she has this presence. Nola, she's a little bit shy, but she got out there, and I'm so proud of her because her dancing in front of a bunch of people, that's a big deal.
Yes.
She could have totally shut down and just not done anything, right? Because she doesn't play dodgeball at jiu-jitsu. She doesn't want to be out there and
in front of everybody,
putting herself out there.
She rather do art. So we asked her afterwards, do you want to continue doing dance? And it was a big no.
Yeah.
Which I'm quietly like, honestly, I'm super happy that she doesn't want to dance. Just it's totally selfish because it's a big time commitment in the week.
It is
to go.
Huge.
Now you're going to jiu-jitsu and you're going to dance camp. I mean, I know there's a lot of parents out there that have their kids involved in like 2, 3, 4 activities sometimes, right? And it's just not realistic for us. Like we can't really do that.
If she wants to do it, I'm going to do my best to make sure she gets to do what she wants. But forget about just time commitment during the week. They have these showcases. They have to travel all around, and it's a lot. So I commend all you parents who are doing those extracurricular activities for your children because it's a lot for us parents, but I know in the end it'll pay off for them all.
Right.
So
Saturday night, we actually got to go on a date.
We went on a date night, and Chris had planned this way far in advance, but didn't tell me until like 2 days before. I was like, did you get a sitter? Like, what? Wait, what? Apparently he told me.
I told her plenty of times.
Right. And so we just forgot about it. It wasn't in the calendar, so it wasn't top of mind. It wasn't in the calendar, so it was not on top of mind. So then luckily my parents came through for us. Thank you, Grandma and Papa, for watching the kids for us.
Papa.
We were able to go to one of our favorite places. I mean, I love the Hollywood Bowl. It's just such a good vibe there.
Who's been to the Hollywood Bowl? And share some of your experiences, because I feel like every time we go,
it never disappoints.
It doesn't matter who's performing.
No.
It's always a great show because it's a great venue.
Yes.
I mean, be ready to walk, put your walking shoes on because
yes.
you're going to climb a little bit. But you could take your own food most of the time. You could take your own food, your own liquor. That's amazing that you can do that. You're saving hundreds of dollars right there.
Yeah.
And you can just hang out, have a good time with your friends. We went with some good peeps, right? So we were with some lifelong friends, and we had a ball. It was a great time. We learned some new artists.
Yes. Jose James, for those of you who have not heard of him, look him up. He is so good.
Jose James was my favorite of the night. Of course, the Roots are amazing, right?
Of course. We're listening to the Roots, and all I could think about is, gosh, I want to go back to New York. We have to go to New York.
But the Roots were the headliner. It was a jazz fest, but we learned about Jose James, and we're probably all he really did was Bill Mathers, right?
Bill Withers,
Bill Mathers, whatever. Bill Withers. I'm not good with artists. I'm not good with artist names, but he did a bunch of Bill Withers covers, but he sounded amazing. And then Bill Withers' daughter, who's also named Corey, by the way, didn't know that. She came out and sang one of his songs. It was a really great show.
And it looks like Tanya said, I've never been to the Hollywood Bowl. So I'd take her and Patrick. I think they'd have a good time.
We should all go.
Yes. Oh, guess who is performing at the Hollywood Bowl, which I'm really excited about because I know our kids love him.
Oh,
Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Yeah, maybe we should go and take them for the Pitbull concert.
Thinking about taking the kids to Pitbull, but I don't know about the climb and all that walking late at night. That's a tough walk late at night.
That's why they need to take a nap during the day.
I'm not trying to carry those big old heavy kids. Yeah, so for sure, if anybody knows about how I dress, right? Like, this is how I like to dress, right? I'm a little loud. I'm definitely, if we go to the concert, I'm wearing the purple suit.
Well, you're gonna be hot because it's in It's actually, we should go. It's the day before your birthday on September 27th. Yeah, I will not let you wear the suit because it'll be too hot. But you could wear something loud like this, like very like a Miami tropical style.
I have to wear the suit. I have to wear the glasses. I obviously already shaved my head and have a goatee.
But I'm not trying to go to a Pitbull concert with a Pitbull impersonator. You could just go as yourself. People are going to take selfies with you. Is that what you want?
I mean, they will. So
Mr. Worldwide.
It's funny because I mean, with sunglasses, it changes the whole look. But so if people follow us, they know that I'm at Golden Valley High School a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we do a lot of fundraising for Golden Valley with donations, and I'm there a lot. And the kids heckle me at Golden Valley, and it's not the same kids; it's different kids all the time, which is hilarious. I'm a good sport about it. I'm usually working. It's in the middle of a work day, and if anybody knows how I get down, I'm always in a suit, right? Mm-hmm. So I go to Golden Valley with a suit, and kids will be making cat calls, and they'll be saying Pitbull and Mr. Worldwide, and I get all that stuff all the time. So I definitely got to wear the suit if I go to the concert. What do you think?
So yeah, the last time we went to a conference in Texas, there was like these ladies from Jersey who are like kind of like hitting on you.
I don't remember.
Yes, they were. They said you look like Pitbull. I was like, okay, back off, Cougars. So
I just think I look like Pitbull. I don't think it's hitting on me because even in my real estate group, in the elite group, mm-hmm. I get the Pitbull comments too. It's just the look.
That's okay. It's a compliment. I like Pitbull.
Pitbull's a good guy.
Yes. So Tanya said, would love to go with you guys. So we're going to have to go ahead and take a look at the prices and buy those tickets. I think it would be so much fun.
So my brother's birthday is the 21st. So that'd be a cool gift. We go to the Pitbull concert.
Wait a minute. Who is it that? Oh no, I was thinking of somebody else. And then I think Jocelyn and Christian would like to go too. That would be fun.
It'd be a good time. Of course, we'd all go together.
Yeah. Oh, so anybody who's interested in going, we should all plan on it. It's going to be September 27th. I don't know if you like Pitbull, but it's
taking the kids though. So like that's the thing.
I've never been like a huge Pitbull fan, but when I was working out with my sister-in-law Jocelyn, which I need to get back on it.
On IG, her name is Josie Fit. Mm-hmm. She is a bad woman. Let me just tell you.
She's so good. She needs to whip me into shape. When I was working out with her, whenever we would play music, Pitbull would always come on. And that's how the kids started liking Pitbull, because they'd always hear Fireball when we were working out. So they love Pitbull now because of that. Right. So he was like, whoever your kids are into, that's who you're going to start getting into.
Luckily, our kids are more like me, and they don't really pay attention to the words. But every now and then, they listen to some lyrics, and they're like, Mommy, why does Pitbull want her to take all her clothes off?
Oh my gosh, geez.
And I'm like, maybe it's hot outside. I don't know.
Maybe,
hot. Maybe it wants me.
Take up your clothes. You got to get in the pool. Oh my goodness. So Sunday, we ended up leaving around 4:00 to head to beautiful Palm Springs for a little vacation. And we're going to be here till Thursday, right?
Tomorrow. We'll be here till tomorrow.
Gosh, the time is just flying by. Time flies when you're having fun. And if you've been following us, you know that our Tesla has been acting up with no air conditioning.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine driving down here and having your AC break
in
Palm Springs?
We might die out here. So
just see this petrified family on the side of the road in their Tesla because it's so hot.
It would just be like they would open the doors because they would look like the car was abandoned, and then we would just pour out of the sides.
It just melt right out
because that's how hot it is. So if anybody watched the show last week, they heard me go off on this Tesla rant.
And Tesla gives two, you know what? They don't care.
Not care. We have not had
to go on social media and call him out like he's done in the past to get like someone's attention from a company. Yeah, they don't care.
Well, because Elon Musk is a troll himself, right?
Yeah.
Like he's known for trolling the president, trolling like everybody, right? Like Bill Gates, he was trolling Bill Gates. It's funny until
It happens to
it
you.
happens to you, right? So like now we've been without an air conditioner for 3 weeks. It's one thing if I don't use that car to show properties in, but that's the car I show properties in. I like to keep the AC on in between, the houses. And I can't go out showing property, sweating profusely,
And have your client expect to sweat
and
profusely in the
smelling like
car.
who knows what. And a
Yeah.
lot of clients still travel in my car, which I think is such a critical thing when you're showing people houses, especially when they don't live in the area.
Yes, because you want to point out all the highlights of the communities that you're in. And you don't really have that while they're following you, right? You get to
Sure.
have that conversation. Yes, when you get to the property, you could say, hey, we just passed this park or this amenity that the community has to offer. But it's so much better when you're able to talk about it in person as you pass it.
Yeah, what I do when people don't feel comfortable being in the car because of COVID, right? I like to have them on speakerphone, and I tell them as we're driving through the community of Santa Clarita, because anybody that knows us, we love Santa Clarita. Like
Yes.
we love almost everything about it. So I like to drive people around and tell them everything, the ins and the outs of the whole community.
Yes, for sure.
So
So, well, we can't do that with the Tesla. Hopefully, we will have it soon. Our appointment is for July 5th. And I am not holding my breath because I won't be surprised if they tell us either the one machine they have to fix our car is broken or they're still waiting on the part to
so
come
we'll see
in.
what happens. So
The
what did Vashi
Urvashi
say?
said, we are not a big fan of Tesla. Tried to get their solar panels. They don't care. No responses. Doesn't deal with HOA. We didn't go through with Tesla. I'm glad you brought this up, Urvashi, because the new community we're purchasing in, they are offering solar panels there that are included with the purchase. But if you want to upgrade to cover all your electricity, you can purchase through Tesla. And we decided to do that. But now I am having second thoughts about it because I'm wondering, are they ever going to service them if something goes wrong? Are we going to have to wait? Like, what does that mean for
So
us?
this is what we've learned about Tesla, right? Tesla's an amazing, huge machine of a company, $1 trillion company, I'm sure. Well, maybe with the stock prices, maybe not anymore, dipping so much.
Mm-hmm.
But their product's amazing. I love their car
Mm-hmm.
when it's working, right? But their customer service is terrible. I mean, it is probably one of the worst companies I've ever had to deal with when it comes to customer service.
Well, if you think about it, their whole company is based on like automation, computers, right? And they left out that human factor. There's no such thing. There's like nothing in between. And I think they're really losing out on a lot by doing that.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation that I'm thinking about with AI, right?
Yeah,
Which we'll talk about on a different show. We'll have a
for
topic for it.
sure.
But this comes into so many things with technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
When technology gets so advanced, whether it be with Tesla, and because the way they want you to deal with any kind of service issues, they don't want you to talk to a person. You got to text, right?
Mm-hmm.
And deal with the bot basically.
And when you get a person, they might as well be a bot because they don't think anything outside of the box, like taking it to the next level to solve your problem. Basically, I'm your problem solver and I need to make some suggestions to you, and you're just going to shoot them down anyways. Like that's how I felt when I talked to the people there.
Right.
So, not good. Urvashi says it takes them months to get back. It
Yeah,
really does.
they are terrible. One quick tangent that I just want to touch on is there's always some new technology being made in real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're always trying to come out with this new company, and there's so much money invested in in the Bay Area in Silicon Valley
Correct.
with them trying to create real estate companies with great technology. Let's say like Redfin has great technology.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing they're never going to be able to do, and why real estate agents will be around till the end of time, is you need that human factor.
Yes, of
You need
course.
people want to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to deal with an app. They don't want to deal with some bot. They need somebody that they can call and depend on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're for.
Yes, for sure. So sorry we're dealing with that. And I'm sorry you had that experience, Urvashi, but it sounds like you made a really good decision. Hopefully you found a good company for your solar panels. Switching things up to real estate.
Staying on real estate, we just made that switch up.
Just a little switcheroo. So you want to talk a little bit about the market update and what you're seeing in the marketplace?
Yes. So this is very important. I want everybody that's thinking about buying or selling, that's serious about it, to really focus in on what I'm going to say here, because the market has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but it's not crashing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody's hoping and praying the market's going to crash. They hope that the next earthquake's coming so they can buy a house dirt cheap. It's not happening, people. Even when the market drops, because it will come down, the affordability, listen to what I'm saying, the affordability of homes will go down as well. When the prices go down, the homes will actually get more expensive. How does that make sense?
Wait, you said the affordability goes down. I'm
Yeah, because you
confused.
can't afford these homes.
Oh.
So it will get more expensive to buy a home as the prices come down. What am I saying? What do I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's because the rates are going to keep going up. And when the rates go up, the cost of homes go up on your monthly payment. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're buying a home for $800,000. And I don't have a calculator in front of me, but I'm pretty good with this math. You're buying a home for 800 grand, which is most first time home buyers now, which is crazy, but that's what it is.
Yes.
Right? If you would have bought that home in January, you would have been paying somewhere around $4,000 a month, $4,200 a month. Fast forward to today in June, coming up on July, with rates at 5.5%. This is on a 30-year fixed. Now you're paying about $5,200 to $5,500 a month. Okay, so your payment's gone up $1,000. Have the house prices come down? Not really. We're starting to see price decreases, but it's only because those homes are already overpriced.
Right.
They've listed them higher than their neighbors that sold a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, because they're trying to project that they could get more than what the last person.
Well, they can't. Buyers have said, hey, we can no longer can afford these homes in that price point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting to see homes sit for 30 days, 45 days. But here's the problem is buyers and sellers just get too greedy. Both buyers and sellers. Sellers always want to sell for more and buyers always want a better deal. Let's go back to January, you guys, because I think everybody has a short memory. Every buyer I talked to in January, unless they were, if they were working with us, this wasn't the case.
They're already in their house.
They're already in their house. But if they weren't working with us, they're frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
They're making multiple offers, 10, 15 offers are not getting accepted. Every house is going over asking. Every house is a bidding war. They were sick of it. They had fatigue. Now, 6 months later, where are all the buyers? Crickets everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Buyers are nowhere to be found because they're scared. They're believing all this crazy hype they're reading on, hearing on the news or reading on Yahoo or Google, wherever they get their information. Look, the market's not crashing. Right now is a great time to take advantage of today's market because buyers actually can get, check this out, you can still get a 4% rate. What? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We've opened escrow yesterday with one of our buyers. I believe they're locked in at 3.875. That's with great credit, 740 plus FICO on a 5-year fixed loan. Okay, we'll talk more about ARMs at a different time, but for 5 years, you're fixed at that 3.875, right? So their rate's good. We were able to get the seller to pay all of their closing costs.
Amazing.
It's a $900,000 purchase. Seller's paying $15,000 in closing costs. So what does that mean? They're getting in for only 5% down for this particular client. They could do it with 3.5, right? Okay. But for this interest rate in this program, they're doing 5% down, 3.875, and the seller's paying all of the closing costs. That could be you right now if you're looking to buy a home. That's what we're doing for our buyers. But all you hear on the news is 6% rates. The market's gonna crash. It's not crashing, y'all. We're probably gonna be going into a recession. You want properties in a recession. Everything else is losing its value. So give me a call if you're looking to buy a home, please. That's the market we're in right now.
And think about it. If you are locked in at that rate, right, at 3.875 on an $800,000 purchase, a mortgage payment on that is probably pretty comparable, if not just a tad bit more than rent of something that you would pay similarly, correct? Yes. So, I mean, let us look at what your situation is. If you're considering it, let's just do some comparisons for you and see if maybe now is the time for you.
There's a lot of programs coming out. We're seeing ARM loans, which means like a fixed term, 5-year, 7-year, 10-year fixed terms. We're also seeing interest onlys back.
Yikes.
Right?
I hear interest only and I get scared because, I mean, I'm not scared because I don't have one, but I know what the market went through before when there was interest only. And I think The point when they start saying pay option arms are back, then is the time when you're like, okay,
Well,
what's happening now? What is going on?
I'm gonna forecast the future. I'm gonna play Nostradamus right now because I've already. If anybody goes back and checks our previous shows, I was already saying interest only. First, arms are coming back, which they weren't out yet.
Correct.
They came back. Predicted that. I said interest only is coming back. That came back. And guess what's probably going to come back next? And nobody's advertising this. I didn't see this anywhere. It's just what I'm guessing is coming out next. 40-year terms. They're going to amortize over 40 years. Nobody's talking about it yet, to make it affordable for somebody to buy a house. Look, the banks know consumers don't care about what something costs. Nobody cares. Americans don't care about that stuff. What they care about is, can I afford it? Can I make that payment? Can I afford that monthly payment? And when that's all they're trying to do is figure out a way that consumers, home buyers, can afford the monthly payment. So that's why you're seeing these programs come back out. So before the year's out, I guarantee you we're going to start seeing your 40-year fixed. I don't think we're in trouble until we see the pay option arm. If that thing comes back, we're about a year away from foreclosures. But I think we're going to see 40-year fixed next. And I think this is going to stretch out, not necessarily a seller's market, but it's going to stretch out homes really decreasing, at least through the summer and maybe through the end of the year. Now, they won't sell as fast. They'll be on they're already on 30 days. I'll say they'll be on 60 days to sell, but they're still going to sell roughly right around what they're asking, or maybe like 5% less.
You said something in there that Americans don't like how much things cost. They just want to know if they could afford it. And I couldn't disagree with you more, because when I see how much something costs, I'm like, oh, my heart, how does someone pay that much? Are you saying the majority of Americans?
Well, we're guilty of this too. What are you talking about? So we're paying some astronomical price for a house.
You don't need to say all that, but I'm just saying that gives me a heart attack. Like,
well, hold on, you said you couldn't disagree more, but that's not true. Your actions, our actions, we're buying a house that never in our life did we think we'd spend this much for a house, and we're doing it because we're like, oh, what's the monthly payment? I could swing that. That's why we're doing it.
No, that's not why. And Disneyland passes. Yeah.
How much did that cost?
I know how much it costs, and I put it right out of my mind, so I don't have to lose sleep over it.
Exactly.
I'm for it. Who cares?
Yeah, but you paid for it is the point.
It's all about the experience.
Okay.
I see the price, and then I'm like, oh, and I'm like, all right, just take my money.
And then you pay the fee, and that's what most consumers do, and that's what we've been taught to do. We're in America, it's capitalism, and this is what we're taught since we're kids, that hey, you need to go buy something. It's true. It's the American way.
Okay, America. So in the current market, it takes a great real estate agent to help you navigate the issues that are popping up. And a part-time agent just may not be the good way to go. It might be a struggle. Things may fall apart. You might be looking for properties for 11 months or however long it's been taking some of them.
I could speak on that 100%. So I'm dealing with one of these agents right now. That agent, we have a property in escrow, and we knew when we accepted this offer, the way it was presented. I look up all the agents that I do business with, right? If somebody makes an offer as your listing agent, I am doing like a Carfax on the agent. I want to see how much business they've done, how many cancellations they've had, how many closings they've had. I'll do my research on them, not only the buyers. And, I creep the buyers on social media too, to kind of see where they're coming from, right?
You need to know what you're getting yourself into.
We want to know, like, are people reliable? That's all I care about. Are they reliable? Are they going to close in escrow? That's the whole reason of doing this research. And I knew taking this offer that this guy was going to be a headache because he doesn't close very many deals, right? And I found out as we're doing escrow, I knew he's a part-time agent. And I right now am doing my best to drag the buyer and their agent and their loan officer, everybody over the finish line because they're terrible. And people don't realize this. Like, it is very important who you pick as your agent. If you're not, I don't care if you're friends with somebody. I don't care if you grew up with them. I don't care if they're your brother or your dad. I don't care who they are. If they have not exhibited that they're trustworthy, they don't have reviews like on Google and Redfin and Zillow, right? That they have a track record of doing good real estate business. Just because, they were a good friend of yours in high school or college doesn't make them a good real estate agent.
Correct.
unless they have that experience, you should not be using these people, especially now in this market. There's just too much going on. The waters are rough right now.
Things are changing all the time, right?
Rapidly.
Just from like 2 or 3 weeks ago, the market has really shifted.
Yes.
So make sure that you're working with somebody who knows the market, who knows how to get you to where you need to be, because it's not fun dealing with someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Who knows how to talk to people? If
Right?
somebody can't answer some questions, some basic questions that you
Call
have,
somebody back. How about that when you're trying to find a
oh my
realtor and they
Lord.
don't call you back? That's just, I'm trying to give you my business. At least like give yourself a shot, right?
Yes.
So, oh my goodness. So at Silver Realty, we just opened escrow on for one of our happy buyers, and they're moving forward because they're educated and they know what to expect in this market. So we're super excited for them. They just started looking again. They had taken a break for a while. And how many offers did we write for them? Only a few before their offer is accepted,
Well,
correct?
so on this new, they've been through it when it was tough,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they made, I don't know, less than a handful of offers. None of them got accepted. We got a couple counters, but they were all more than they wanted to pay for the house. So
Right.
we just let them go. So now we're back in. We went for a weekend. We made two offers on houses and, oh, three offers. I'm sorry, all at the same time.
Right.
Um, because we made all low ball offers. We wanted to see who wanted to play ball.
Uh-huh.
And one of them we were able to negotiate, and they're in escrow off of one weekend of seeing
That's
homes.
amazing.
Um,
That should be a true testament of like what to expect right now. Buyers, you have options. Before, how many listings were in Santa Clarita active when the market was crazy? Can you just give us an example? Like
I
maybe
think
6 months ago?
before you would see active inventory, there'd be like, I don't know, maybe 80 homes active at one time, 100, let's say.
So right now, I know you check the market every day. How many are actually active?
You know what? I didn't check today, but I want to say from yesterday, there's like 375 or something.
Think about that. How many more options you have? I mean, as a buyer, this is a perfect time for you to be able to make a selection and not just settle for whatever is on the market, right?
Right, but here's the problem is you can't be reactive to the market, right? You have to go ahead. If you know you want to buy a home, you have to be able to block out all the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Stop reading stuff that you hear, that you see the headlines that you see that the market's going to crash and all that. Stop listening to your friend at work that's not a real estate agent, that's not a loan officer,
Or who
that's not an
doesn't own a
investor,
home?
that doesn't own a home. Why are you listening to these people? Like, do
I
you
have
listen to these people for medical advice?
I have a lot of great clients that never even told their family members they were purchasing a home because they did not want any of that outside noise. And I think that's a great thing to do.
So, since we are on vacation, I do have a beer here and there throughout the day. And the other day, before I could have a beer, I went to get us dinner at In-N-Out out here in Palm Springs, and I was in a long, long line, and something compelled me to post about like our house, right where it's at. And I put on Kendrick Lamar, and I said, for anybody that's looking to buy a home, um, oh no, for all the people that tell people that's right now is not a good time to buy a home, or that tell me that right now is a good time to buy a home because we're buying a home. What music did I put on? Do you remember the song I put on?
How could you not? It's Kendrick Lamar.
So what was it?
Don't kill your vibe. And I'm not going to say that word, the B word. B don't kill
Well,
my vibe.
don't kill my,
But
yeah.
it's true. It's like, if you're gung ho on something, just ignore that. Because if you know in your heart you're making the right decision, you just keep pushing, make
We're
it
super
happen.
excited. Like we're super excited. We're buying a house right now. We know that it doesn't matter when you buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if you're trying to time the market, how did crypto go for you? Did you time the market right on crypto? Did you time the market right the last housing market? Or let's say you did buy at the perfect time, 2010, 2011, 2012. Did you really time that, or did you just get lucky of when you
Right.
bought? Let's be honest with ourselves and with each other, right? The best time to buy a house is when you can afford to buy a house. That's the bottom line. And when it's right for you. And I know that sounds cliche, but here's what that means. Do you have the money for the down payment, for
Mm-hmm.
whatever the cost is to get into the home? Can you get a home in the neighborhood that you're looking in right now, the neighborhood that you can picture yourself living in? Can you get a home there? Or do you need to save a little bit longer before you can get there?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you keep renting. I don't know. It might not be the time for you. But like for Corey and I and our family, we're looking to get the home that we've really wanted. And It's not in Stevenson Ranch. That's where we wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
But the home that we're looking to buy doesn't exist in Stevenson Ranch because they don't have new construction there.
Mm-hmm.
And we figured out over the years, we're new construction people. We love to be the first person in that home.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be our third house that we're buying brand new. Nobody's ever lived in it before. And I think that's where we're our happiest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
I would agree, but our first home, it was not new construction. And what a difference, right?
It needed a lot of work.
It needed work. It was like always something going on with that home. And I'm not saying that resell's bad, but just the experiences are different. And yeah, for us right now is the time. And the way I look at it, because I've been back and forth, for those of you I've talked to about purchasing a home, I'm like, why am I so nervous? I'm a broker. I shouldn't be nervous about buying a home. I'm usually the one who's the gung-ho one, like, let's go buy this house. Or I don't even ask Chris. I'm like, hey, we're buying this house. It's your birthday. Let's go sign a contract without him even knowing we're in the market to buy a home. Our rental property in San Antonio, he had no clue that we were going to be buying one. I already had a ticket to go to San Antonio and find this said rental property. He's never seen it. So that just gives you an idea of who's the one who's like, okay, we got to do this. We need to make this decision. We're buying this house. Like, I don't really care what you think. We're going to get it.
Wow.
And I do care. But at the moment, I'm like, this is a good decision. So now, fast forwarding to where we are now, Chris is the one who's been like super excited. Like, this is it. We're going to get this house. I'm so excited. And I'm like sitting there like really uneasy and having a little bit of anxiety about it. But I think I talked myself into it the other day when I was talking it out with one of my friends, Shanae. And I was just telling her, like, when we purchased our house in Stevenson Ranch, we probably had no business purchasing there, right? Because little did we know the market would be crashing right after, not too long after. Our house was almost worth half of what we paid for it. We hung in there. We made our payments. We were diligent. And look, like now the values have come up. So in real estate, it works in cycles. Yes, you may not be buying at the bottom of the market like everybody would love to do. But like Chris said, if you're lucky enough to purchase at the bottom of the market, yes, you could reap those benefits. But we didn't buy at the lowest of the market. We probably bought at the top. And here we are 15 years later, and our value has gone up tremendously. And so I'm just taking that experience and I'm saying, okay, maybe we're not buying at the best, lowest peak or the lowest time for the market, but I know in the next 15 years, we'll be in a really good position with the property we're purchasing now.
Sure.
So that's how I look at it. Like when the time's right for you and your family, say you're outgrowing your home or you need a pool because, man, these summers are getting really hot and I need somewhere to cool down. Those were our two motivating factors, to have a little more space and a pool. And I think this is going to be a great move for us. So Urvashi made a comment. She said that should be our mantra about everything. And I think she made that comment when you're talking about B don't kill my vibe. And I couldn't agree more. So
you need to align yourself with positive people.
Right.
So like, I'm very big on that. I have no energy for toxic people. I don't care who you are. I don't care if we're related. I don't care if you work with us. Like whoever you are, if you're toxic, you're gone. That's how I live my life. Right. It's so important that you need to be around people that are uplifting, right? That help you make great decisions, and we try to align ourselves with those type of people.
Yes.
And everybody that we've talked to that are, older, not older, but yes, they're older, but they're wiser, more, I'm not going to say financially savvy, but they have accomplished more than we have in life. They're a lot older than us and super successful. Everybody we've talked to, like, you need to move forward and buy that house. Like, that's a great decision. Go ahead and make it happen. Like, you guys are going to be fine, And so we've got nothing but like great responses from people that are more successful than us. And then the people that have really been worried about it are people that are not in that situation. That's really the truth, So I'm excited about it. I think the thing is with Corey is she's 100% right. She was not exaggerating when she decided to buy these two houses without talking to me about it first. But you know what it is we've been together so long and we trust each other so much. At that time, I wasn't doing real estate, right? When we bought our house in San Antonio and we bought our house now that we live in now in Stevenson Ranch, I was I went from construction at the gas company to doing loans. And Corey was the real estate professional for like 3 years on her own. And she made those decisions. And I trusted my wife and I knew she was the expert. So I just rolled with it. Then let's now fast forward 15 years. I'm the one in the fire most of the time, right? I'm out there with my, my ear to the street. I know what's going on in the market. I know our area. And she's confided in me now. She's like, okay, you think it's a good time? We're gonna do this. Like I got your back. So it works both ways. Hopefully the person that's been doing the research and all that stuff and makes the good financial decisions, if there's a couple buying a home, hopefully they're the ones that are deciding to buy or sell at this time.
Or the individual. I mean, you could be an individual, make some decisions too.
Sure. I'm comparing it to us being two people out there.
Okay. Sounds good. So as you guys know, we are, in addition to us purchasing a new home, we're agents, but we're also still in the process of deciding whether we want to sell our current home or find a way to keep it and rent it out. So for those of you who are homeowners and you're considering renting out your property or selling it, I think we're feeling very, very similar emotions. Have any of you been in this boat? And what are your thoughts on it? I've talked to several different people and I love getting feedback to hear what people think. And I think some people just say, hey, if you have property, you need to keep it. Don't ever get rid of it.
Sure.
Hold on to your property if you can. And I love that advice. If you're able to do it, absolutely hang on to it, because I know our first property, we always look back and say, gosh, we should have kept that if we could have. Different time in our life, we didn't have the means to do something like that.
We couldn't afford to keep it.
But I'm just curious, are other people having these ideas? And I've also heard people say, oh, you don't want to rent out your property. You're in California. There's so many tenant rights and, you've got that, the moratorium. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't rent it out. And so there's a lot of different factors that people have to take into consideration. Keep the property long-term, retirement. I'm leaning more toward that because, in 9 to 10 years, our property will be paid off. That's a nice little chunk of money coming in to help us with retirement or to help fund the kids' college if they decide to go to college. If they don't, that's fine too. Or do you take your chances now and deal with renters? I mean, I think it's a lot to take in, and these are some of the challenges we are weighing to see which route we would want to go.
I think right now what we're doing is we're just going to have our house ready for pictures and video next week. And it's either going to be for putting our house on the market to rent or to sell. We don't know yet. We're still on the fence. We still haven't decided, which is funny because we're getting really close to where we need to make a decision. But anyhow, we're still preparing to be ready for either one.
Right. Absolutely. So those are the fun things all in real estate and in relationships. That is going to be our show today. Thank you again for hanging out with us here on R&R Relationships and Real Estate. Be sure to catch us weekly here on Facebook Live at noon every Wednesday. We're your hosts, Corey and Chris Silva, and we'll catch you next week. Goodbye. Bye.